Welcome to Piano Video Lessons. I'm Lisa, and in this lesson, we're learning Allemande by Shine. This is part of Unit 9, where we're working on Grade 1 level Baroque music. It's also Unit 2 of Year 2. In this lesson, we're going to get an overview of the Allemande, and we're also going to learn the accurate fingering notes and rhythm for this piece at a slow tempo. This is Stage 1 and Video 1. You can click the info card to come on over to pianovideolessons.com, where you can get a complete index of all the lessons, and also you can find the ebook. Today we're working with the sheet music, the practice plan. We also have a study sheet that goes with this particular Allemande, and we have a sheet on the characteristics of Baroque music. These are both found at the, this is on page 7 of your ebook, this is in the appendix. So let's get started. The Allemande is a dance from the Baroque suite, and the word Allemande is French, comes from the French German. So it's a German style piece, and this is a German composer, interestingly enough. The Allemande is always in 4/4 time. So just as the minuet was always in 3, 1, 2, 3, and the bourrée was always in 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, the Allemande is always in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So having a look at this piece, we can also see that it is in 2 parts. We have this first section that repeats, and the second section here that also repeats. So we call this binary form, A section and B section. It's in G major, it has 1 sharp here, this is F sharp, and it ends on the note G. So what else should we look at before we get started? Well, we could practice the G major technical requirements. You could practice your G major scales for both hands. I should put hand cream on, my fingers are kind of slippery. And you can also practice your triads. So that'll help get your mind around the key of G major. So let's have a look then at the 3 aspects that we're going to be learning here at Stage 1 in this piece. We're going to be learning the fingering, the notes, and the rhythm. I like to start with fingering because this will give us a sense of what's physically going to happen in the piece. So just working on a tabletop or on your closed piano key lid, you can work with this with me right now. So it starts here on finger number 1, and we play our 1, and then we're going line, space, which takes us to finger 2, and then we go up to finger 5. So this is an interval of a 4th, going 2, 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, down, 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 up. So the only interval distance that was not a neighbor is this interval of a 4th right here. We're going from finger 2 to finger 5. And if you're not used to reading by intervals, then just click the info card and come on over to the lesson that I have on playing, thinking about intervals while working on fingerings. So coming over here, we're going to start with finger 1, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, and that takes us up to here. Now that was the identical fingering that we used in this first section. So we finished off with finger 2. 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. That's right here on the B. Now we're going to go down 1. So we're down to thumb. Then we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 4. All right, so this is the A section fingering. I'm just going to check off that we've done the fingering for the A section. I'm going to be working just on the A section in the first half of this video. So that is the fingering for the right hand. So let's go ahead and look at the left hand. We start with finger 1 on G, and then we have a neighbor, and then G, and then we go down a 4th, and then we go up to our thumb. It's not on G anymore, but it's telling us to use our thumb. Then we have from a line down to a space, that's a neighbor, back to the space. Then we have 4, and it's given to us, neighbor, neighbor, down a 4th, up a 5th, and then this is a reach of an octave. So I'm just going to write a 5 on here. This is a big distance. It's from A down to A. So we're playing from 1 to 5. And then we finish with 2 and repeat. So let's go through that again. It's 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 5, 1, 5, 2, 2. So practice that fingering until you can do it without any trouble. Now, let's move on to accurate notes. So the first thing I like to do with this is work on note flashes. And if you've watched my other videos, you know what this is. But note flashes are just looking for the notes that have a shift in them. So here's a finger number 1. So we're going to play this one with our thumb. It's G. And I have a finger number 5 written here, so I'm going to play this note, which is D. Then I have a finger number 1, that's on A. So I'm going to move my 1 to A and play it. And I'm just having a scan through here. There are no other finger numbers written in, so I am done with right hand note flashes. Left hand note flashes says finger number 1 on G, finger number 1 on A, finger number 4 on E. I didn't have to move. I did have to move for this one. I'm going to circle it. And then finger number 5 down here for A, and then a 2 on D and D. So it's helpful sometimes to circle the finger numbers that require you to move to a new position. So we had to move here in the right hand and here in the left hand. Those are the note flashes for the left. We'll go through them one more time. We have G, we have 1 on A, we have 4 on E, and we have 5 on A. And then we have 2 on D. So we're familiar with all of those notes that involve a leap or any that have a finger number written with them. So we've done our note flashes, and now we're going to combine those two things, the note flashes with the fingering concepts, and we're going to play through from the beginning, starting here on 1 on G, and we're going to play 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, down, 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 up. Now we're going to move our 1 to A, up, up, down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1. Then we have 2 sharp, 4, 4, still sharp, 3, 4, 4. So whenever you see a sharp, just a reminder, you keep the sharp until there's a bar line. So this C is also a C sharp because it's coming in from the same bar as the new accidental. Now the reason this sharp is added in here is because we've just briefly changed into a different key. This is the secondary dominant of D major, and we're finishing here on D. So this is coming out of the A major chord, which is the 5 of D. That's a complicated theory concept, but if you've been doing any chord study, that might make sense to you. If not, don't worry about it. Just play C sharp. You don't need to know why. So that's how we work out the right hands. We're going to just play through that one more time, starting with our 1 on the note G, and we're going to watch out for every circled finger number. So we have 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, and move. 1, 2, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 sharp, 4, 4 still sharp, 4 hold, 4 hold. So you can see I very seldom said any finger numbers, I very seldom said any letter names because I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about the shape of the melody and just paying more attention to where my hand started in position. Okay, so here we're going to have left hand fingers on G, and we're going to play through the notes. Now we have F sharp. We need to remember those Fs are sharp from our key signature. And then G again, then down to D. So we're in the key of G, so Fs are sharp. We go up to A, then we have G sharp, and then we have A. Now we have 4, F sharp, G, down to 5, A, reach the octave, and then hold 2, and 2 again. All right, so we have that G sharp sneaking in here because we've got a feeling of A major coming into this A chord. All right, so here we have, I'll try it one more time, G, F sharp, G, D, A, G sharp, A, and then going down here to E, F sharp, G, D, A, D, D. Now you may have noticed I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to the rhythm when I played through those because more importantly I wanted to get the notes right. In this stage, the next stage, we're going to work on accurate rhythm. So it starts here, counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And just scanning through the music here, I see half notes, quarter notes, and eighth notes. So when I see eighth notes, counting in 4/4 time, it's helpful to use an and in between our counts so that we have a place to play the eighth note on the second half of the beat. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and gives us 8 little divisions in our measure. That allows us to have a place to play this 1 and. Then when we are on the second beat, we have 2 and, 3 and, 4 and. So let's go ahead and just tap the right hand here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Not too bad. Let's add the left hand in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try the next measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here we are in measure 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's the same rhythm as we had in the first measure. Now we're here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's a unique rhythm. Now we're here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So again, unique. And last of all, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You don't have to count the ands if you don't want to, as long as you make sure that your eighth notes are equal. So we would have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now we know the rhythm, and now we're going to put that in with the notes and fingering, and we're going to play this with accurate rhythm. Let's just look to see first what's going to be the trickiest measure. It might be this one because there's a lot going on in both hands. So why don't we start off with that particular measure? It doesn't tell us the finger number for playing this note, but we can extrapolate it by thinking about where we started this grouping of notes, where our hand moved last. We moved our 1 to this A. So if we had our 1 on A and how we're playing B, that means we're using a 2. And here, if we extrapolate back, last we used our 4 on E, we played F sharp and then G, so that will also be a finger 2. So let's just try this measure, starting with our 2 on B and our 2 on G, and we're going to count as we play the notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You have to remember this C sharp at the end of the measure. Let's do it again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you can draw something here to remind yourself to play that as a C sharp. Don't write the sharp in if you can help it, because you're really trying to train your mind to remember the music and read the notes. If you write the sharp in, then you're teaching yourself to look at your pencil marks, not the music that's written in. So let's have a look and see if there are any other tricky measures in the first section. And I don't know if there are any that are trickier than the first one, so let's just go through from the beginning, playing with accurate notes and fingering while we count. Here we go. First measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if that was easy, keep going. If otherwise, let's just do it one more time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Next measure. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we can do both of those now, measures 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you're counting out loud and you need to stop, it's okay. You could do this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, and 4, and. Notice I'm stopping here as I'm trying to plan my notes that are playing hands together. That's just allowing me enough time to think to play accurately. Those little pauses, as long as I'm counting, my brain knows that I've just hit the pause button, because then I resume counting and I keep going with my beats. Now, eventually we're going to have to get that moving, flowing through at the right pace with no gaps. But what we could also do is just try that a little slower and see if we can do it more slowly and have no gaps. So that would be like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So slowing it down might help. Let's go on to the next part. We're moving our thumb to A and our other thumb also to A. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's a little bit trickier than the last one, only because it gets a little busier at the end, and we have to remember this F sharp. The other part feels a lot the same. Let's try it one more time from that A and A. 1 and 2 and, stop and think, 3 and 4 and, look at the next line, stop and think, 1 and 2 and 3 and, stop and think, 4 and. But you do want to practice that until you can do it with flow. 1, starting on A, sorry, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm going to keep going. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, I'm just going to play the A section through for you at tempo. I'm not paying any attention to dynamics or articulation at this point. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and moving. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so we have just learned the notes, rhythm, and fingering of the A section for this Allemande. Now we're going to work on the B section. We're going to go through the same process, starting with fingerings. So we're going to have 4 down, down, 3 down, down, 3 down, down, 4 down, down. Next line, 3 down, down, cross 2 over 1. 2, 3, 4, switch to 3, 2, 3, 3. All right, so that is the fingering for the right hand. Let's look at the left. Now there's no finger number written in here at the beginning of this line, but it's the same starting note we had before, and the notes are going down, so we're going to put a finger number 1 here on this G. So we're going to play 1, we're going to work up here actually, 1, 1, now down a fifth, and then we're going to be moving our hand 1, down a fifth, 1. And then this is the bottom notes. This is the same note, so that's 5 again. Now only to a space, so up a fourth to 2, then back to 5. So when we go up a fourth from finger 5, we go 5 to 2, then back to 5, rest. Now here is a C, and we're going to be playing it with the same 2 that we just played this last C with. So 2, 5 again, and then up to the line note, which is the 5th, up from this bottom 1, which is G, 1, 1, 5, 5. So after we placed our hand here on D, we didn't need to move out of position for this section. All right, so let's check off the accurate fingering, but you should practice that until it's comfortable for you. And then we'll go back and look at the note flashes. So here we have 4 on D, then we have 3 on C, then we have 3 on B. That's a move, I'm going to circle it. 4 on A, also a move, I'm going to circle it. 3 on G, not a move. 2 It's a move down to D, and 1 on D, also a move, and 3 up to G, also a move. So I'm moving here, I'm moving here and here. I didn't move here, but I did move here and here. So just by circling those, it helps us to cue in that we need to move our hand into a new starting place. We can do those again. 4 on D, 3 on C, 3 on B, 4 on A, 3 on G, 2 on D, 1 on D, 3 on G. And the same thing for the left hand. So we're going to have 1 on G, 1 on D. And that's the end of the note flashes for the left hand. If you want to, you could practice this here. You could put a 5 and a 2 down here. You could practice G and then 2 up to C. There's no movement required, but that interval distance is a fourth. So we've done our note flashes. Now we're going to do the playthrough, combining the note flashes with the correct fingerings. So we start with 4 on D, and we play 4, down, down, 3 is on C, 3, down, down, 3 moves to B, 3, down, down, 4 moves to A, 4, down, down, ooh, that's an F, so it's a sharp. So you could do something there to remind yourself that there's going to be a sharp. I'm going to put an exclamation point there. 4, down, down, 3, down, down, still the F sharp. Cross your 2 to D again. Now coming up, watch for that F sharp. 2, 3, 4, switch to 3, F sharp, 3, and 3 again. So that's the fingering and the notes for the right hand. We'll go back. 4, 3, 2, then 3, 2, 1, move 3, 3, 2, 1, move 4, watch for the sharp, 3, watch for the sharp, 2 on D, 1 on D, up, 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 3 switch, down, up, hold, and repeat. All right, let's do the left hand. We know the note flashes and we know the fingering, so we're going to hold 2 beats here on G2, G2, that's a fifth, 1 on D, a fifth, up a fifth, down a fifth, up a fourth, down a fifth, and rest. Now we have that space note, the space note with your 2, then down to your 5, then 1, 1, 5, and 5 again. So once we got onto this D, we did not have to change our hand position, just had to watch out for interval distances. So intervals are really the secret to being able to sight read quickly and not have to fret over every single note you're playing what the name is. Just make sure you're playing the correct one. All right, let's do it again. G, G, down a fifth. Bring your thumb to D. Now stay in this position. Fifth, 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 fourth, fourth, rest. Fourth, fourth, up a fifth, repeat, down a fifth, and repeat. All right, so that is the notes and fingering for the left hand of the B section. Now we're going to go back through the B section and we're going to add in the rhythm. So let's go ahead and tap it with both hands, counting to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next measure, 1, 2, 3. Next measure, 1 and 2. 3 and 4. Next measure, 1 and 2, 3, 4. So right here, I did this one, 1 and 2, 3, 4. Now we're here, 1 and 2, 3, 4, and then hold 2, hold 2. So that's the rhythm for both hands. This one there's nothing really extra tricky. We've done all of these rhythms previously in the first section. The only difference may be that little bit of a rest right here with the left hand. Nothing happens in this beat, whereas the last time we saw that rhythm, we played an octave in the left hand. So let's go ahead then and try to play notes, rhythm, and fingering in the B section, starting right here. We're going to go slow, counting and stopping when we need to. So we're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4. Now nothing moves. 1, 2, left hand moves. 3, 4. Right hand moves twice here. 1 and 2. Watch out for F sharp. And then next line, right there. That's the hardest part of this piece. We have to move the right hand twice in this measure, and then we have to move it twice, well, once or twice in that measure, and the notes move quickly. So we're probably going to want to practice this a few times. So starting here with G, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4. So you want to practice that. Do it slowly. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and one more time. 1 and 2, now A, 3 and 4, now G, 1 and 2, roll over, 3 and rest. Let's keep it going. We're going to play our 2 on C. Here comes F sharp. 1 and 2, right goes 3 to G, 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so I'm going to play all the way through the B section now. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, so that's the end of our lesson. In the next lesson, we're going to work on the dynamics, the articulation, which is whether it's staccato or legato or accented, and keeping the tempo steady all the way through the piece. So as you practice this, don't worry if you're having to stop and leave little gaps in your playing so that you're thinking about being accurate. Accuracy is more important at this point. You're allowed to hit pause, no problem. All right, so I'm going to play the piece through for you once, and we'll come back in the next lesson and we'll keep learning Allemande by Shine.